What's up, everybody? My name is Josh, and I'm the youth pastor at Grace Point Church, and we're very excited for another year of youth starting September 10th. For some of you, this is your first year of youth group, and this video is really for you and your parents to help you understand what to expect coming into your first year of youth group. Others of you, you've been to youth group for a while, you kind of know what's coming. This video will still be good for you, but if you want to skip around, jump to the fall event schedule, I'm not going to blame you. I'm not going to make you watch the whole video. Go ahead and do that if you want to. But this is really for those who are unfamiliar and just wanted some information about Grace Point Youth Group. I want to give you as much as I can in as short amount of time as I can, so let's get started. Our primary focus is our Sunday night program. We meet every Sunday night during the school year till about the end of May. With some exceptions, but typically we run from 6 to 8. And when you get here, we're probably going to be set up outside. If it's nice weather, we'll have some games and music going out there. If not, we'll just be inside hanging out and playing games and have some music going in here. But we intentionally have some time at the beginning and the end of our program for students to just hang out and talk and get to know each other and build some relationships. Once we kind of finish up that time, we come inside or come into the auditorium, which is where we have our program. We'll play a game or two together. Sometimes it's an all-play game where everybody gets up and walks around the room. Or sometimes we have a few students come up to the stage or some leaders come up to the stage and play a game. Then we have some time of singing together, worship time together, and sometimes it's pre-recorded songs, but my favorite nights are when our youth worship band lead us in worship. So we'll talk more about that later on in the video, but those are really special nights when our youth team leads us. And then we have a teaching time where I try to spend about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how much I have to say or how many times I get interrupted. That kind of affects how long I go. But it's usually practical, relevant teaching to help these students grow in their relationship with Jesus. Following that, we break into small groups. And our groups are set up by gender and grade. We try to keep guys and girls together or separate in their own groups. So like we've got a bunch of 7th grade guys coming in, a bunch of 7th grade girls. We'll have a 7th grade guys group, 7th grade girls group. And we try to keep them in those groups for their youth group career for those 6 years that they're in youth group with the same people and with the same leader. If we need to switch things up, we can, but many of our students have benefited from that. So we have some time for small groups at the end to talk about what we just heard, talk about our week, the things we're struggling with, and the things we need prayer for. Following that, we do have time at the end for kids to hang out together again, talk to leaders, talk to each other, build those relationships, and just have some fun together. So that's what a typical Sunday night looks like. And these are the people that help make those nights happen. These are our leaders. I really appreciate them. I hope you do too. A lot of them have been with us for many years. Some are brand new this year. We're excited about that. Let's start in the top left. That's Ty and Heather Bogart. Appreciate those guys. They've been with us for a couple years. Their daughter's a senior this year, Stephanie. That's exciting, but we're glad to have them. Right next to them is Laura Lynn Pierce. She's been with us for quite a while. Glad to have Laura Lynn. She's got a class that graduated. Some of them graduated. We'll see what's going to happen with her in this coming year for her group. Next to them, we've got Jabez and Ashlyn Walker. Really nice addition over the last few years. Nice young couple that really enjoy spending time with kids. Next to them is Dan and Judy Gill, our youth ministry veterans. They've been around forever. A lot of wisdom there between the two of them. They've kept me from doing some dumb things in the past, so I appreciate them. We've got Scott Durr. He's been around forever too. He helps lead our youth worship team. Bottom left is one of our new additions. There's Elda Lemon. We've had Dave on our team for several years, but Elda's going to be joining. All their kids are in youth group, so they're figuring, hey, why not? Let's jump in. So we've got both Dave and Elda this year. And our next couple there, we actually lost Dan Van Wee this year. He's taking a break for a little bit, but we did retain Bree, and we're super excited about that. Next to them is Dee Dee Kaysen, another loss. We've lost Mike Kaysen this year. We're excited for him. He's doing an internship at Berean Bible Church, but he won't be working with the youth group anymore. But Dee Dee has decided to stay on. She wants to stay on and help us out with some of those incoming 7th grade girls. Next to her is another addition, a friend of mine from way back. I've known Mike Elliott since high school. His daughter Carmen's in the youth group, and he's a youth ministry veteran too. He actually ran a youth group for many years at Primitive Methodist Church, and now he's here and wanted to get involved. So we're excited to have Mike. And there in the bottom right is me and my family. It's my wife Faith, my daughter Eliana, and for the first time in 4+ years, whatever, I can show you the rest of our family. Those are the 2 little girls we adopted recently, Chelsea and Ashley. So that's us, and those are your leaders. This is a young lady we support through Compassion International. She signs her name Aya in her letters. We've been supporting her since I've been the youth pastor, so going on 12+ years here. And it's probably about the last year we can support her because she'll graduate on to the next thing. But we ask our students to bring in 25, 50 cents a week, and if each of them did that, we'll easily be able to cover the cost of sponsoring Aya through Compassion International. It's just a way to get our students to think about someone and something other than themselves, and recognize that there are people in need throughout the world, and this is a small way that we can help together. These are some of the series we're going to be working through this year. Love to start on friendships and relationships at the beginning of the year, so that's what this series is about, how to get along. It's got like that old school Saturday morning cartoon feel, those specials where they work through problems together, and that's kind of what we're going to be doing, talking about gossip and using our words well, and how to get along when we have disagreements with our friends and the people we have to relate with throughout the day and throughout the year. We're going to be spending some time in Proverbs. Most of that series is going to be in Proverbs, and then this one will be some Proverbs and some other wisdom literature to help us learn that God's wisdom is far better than the world's wisdom. Get it? Dad joke there for you. But we're going to be spending some time in Proverbs and wisdom literature, and I'll be encouraging the students to be reading through Proverbs early this fall as well, just to help them recognize some of the truth from God's Word and the wisdom we can gain from it as compared to what we see taught as wisdom out there in the world. Another series we love to do in January is a series on identity. Students always have the question, a lot of adults have the question, who am I and why am I here? What's my purpose? So we'll be wrestling through a couple of those questions for a few weeks in the new year. And then in February, we always have our relationship series, which is fun. This year, we're going to be doing something special. The final week, we're going to have a panel, like an Ask Me Anything panel of some couples, some single people, some medical professionals, some other people from the community. And just let students ask questions anonymously about relationships and sex and dating, stuff that they might not feel comfortable asking out loud while I'm teaching. So I'm looking forward to that night. And we'll be obviously moderating and controlling what questions are coming through and stuff. So we'll handle it well. And parents, if you feel like you want to come out that night, you're more than welcome to. And then this is just one more series we're going to do this year. It's called Be Near, and this is about kind of the games we play in our relationship with God, like feeling close to Him and just being close enough or just doing enough. And we're going to talk about some spiritual disciplines and how we can work on an authentic relationship with Jesus and how we have to put in the time for us to actually be close to Him. So Sunday mornings, a few years ago, we stopped offering stuff for students on Sunday mornings. Because a lot of them were just coming to what we did on Sunday morning and not going to a service. And I wasn't a huge fan of that. So we did away with that. And now we're hoping that on Sunday mornings our students are either in the service or they're serving somewhere. We've seen a lot of benefit from this. It's good for the students to sit in the service with adults, to hear teaching from an adult that's not me, take notes, all of that stuff. Or be involved in a ministry, whether it's kids ministry or the parking team or audio-visual stuff, or even on the worship team on Sunday mornings. We've seen great benefit from this, and we even heard from one of our students on the senior night that being involved in a ministry like that and getting close to another adult that was on one of those teams really helped him to grow in his faith and work through some stuff that he was struggling with. So it's been a good thing. We're all over social media and the internet. We're on Twitter, me and the 2 followers on there that we have, but we're on there. Maybe Elon will make it take off at some point, and there'll be more people on there following us. But we're mostly on Instagram, a little bit on Facebook for the parents and some of the older folks. YouTube, which is probably where you're finding this. And then recently we set up a TikTok account. And I don't know what you think about it. Not interested in getting in a discussion about it at this point, but I know students are on there, and so we need to be on there. Had one student tell me recently, I was on TikTok the other day for like 4 to 6 hours, and I said, wow. And none of our content was on there. Not that they're going to spend the whole 4 hours looking at content like we would put on there, but we should be in that space, and so we're going to try to get in that space a little bit more this year. Parents, our goal is just to help you raise your children well. Just be another tool for you. You have way more time with them than we do. We just want to be an extension of that. We want to be saying the same things you're saying at home and encouraging them the same way that you do. So we do our best to help you with that. We've got a closed parent Facebook group. If you're not in there, shoot me a note. We'll get you in it. I try to send a monthly email so you kind of know what's going on, what we're teaching on, what kind of things are coming up soon. I'm pretty accessible. That cell phone very rarely leaves my pockets or my person. I've got the Apple Watch, so the texts are always coming through. If you need to get a hold of me, feel free to reach out at any reasonable time. And then we try to send texts pretty regularly to keep you guys up to date and informed about what's coming and what kinds of things you shouldn't forget, especially like youth group coming up Sunday night. Quality of life things for me, we've almost totally moved away from paper permission forms and paper money as much as we can. We're using digital permission forms, and even on those forms giving you an option to pay right there so that I'm not chasing people down for money or collecting a bunch of money at an event. If it happens, it's okay, not a big deal. But we are trying to move towards that pretty much totally so that I don't have to handle cash and checks. I really don't want to do that if I can help it. It's one of the cool things I referenced earlier in the video, our youth worship team. It's been really growing and developing well over the last few years. We lost a bunch of seniors last year, but we've got a lot of great young people ready to step into their place. So we're excited about that team. They've got a meeting the first night of youth group at 5 o'clock if you want to get involved. We also send out a worship team application for you to fill out if you want to get involved, so you can tell us how you would like to help and what kind of instruments you play or what you sing with your voice, harmony, melody, all of that stuff. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, here we go. Here's our fall calendar reveal. I'm going to move me out of the way a little bit so you can see everything. I'm not going to work through all of these. You can kind of see it yourself. You can pause it, screenshot it. We'll be on it for a minute. But one of the big things is our big fall kickoff on September 17th with a bunch of local churches in the area. We have about 10 to 15 churches coming this year, so we're getting back up with Reset. We're having a lot more community involvement. That's going to be at CalTab on the 17th from 6 to 8:30. We'll send out a bunch of info, but that's a great back to school thing. Chance for kids to reset their relationship with Jesus as they head into the new school year. You see a late night there. That's like if kids don't have school the next day, we're going to extend youth group about an hour, so we'll go from 6 to 9. We'll do something fun. I've got a new event in there, axe throwing, the PAX axe throwing in Owego. That should be a fun one. We've got our trunk or treat, or we won't have a normal youth group night, but Grace Point will have a trunk or treat. We've got Reverb, our all-nighter through Word of Life Bible Institute. One of my least favorite days of the year, nights of the year, but one of the students' favorite nights of the year, so we'll keep doing that. We'll do our Friendsgiving Pie Feast again the last Sunday night before Thanksgiving. Then we've got our Christmas party and a break for Christmas and New Year's. So that's everything we've got coming for you this fall. My name is Josh, again, excited for this next year of youth group. If you're new, can't wait to see you. If you're coming back, can't wait to see you either. We're going to have a great year, and I can't wait for it to get started on September 10th. If you have any questions, shoot me a note. Get back to you as quick as I can. Otherwise, I'll see you on Sunday night. Bye.